This is the domestic report from Accolade News. We're starting with a focus on education. A groundswell of opposition is building against the federal government's decision to rename the University of Maiduguri as Muhammadu Buhari University, with students, alumni, and concerned citizens urging President Tinubu to halt the move.
Honor of his memory with this special session, naming of University of Maiduguri.
In a wildly circulated petition led by Opeyemi Olatinwo, stakeholders argued that the name change undermines the institution's 40-year legacy as a symbol of resilience, especially during Boko Haram insurgency. While acknowledging Buhari's contribution, they proposed naming the Federal University of Transportation in Daura or the Nigerian Army University in Bayou after him instead. With over 1,500 signatures gathered by Friday, the petition calls for inclusive consultation and preservation of UNIMAID historical identity. Now in infrastructure, Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development Festus Keyamo is reportedly considering intervention in the 19-year legal dispute between Bi-Courtney Aviation Services Limited and the Federal Airports Authority of Nigeria over a multi-billion naira yet to be completed 4-star airport hotel and international conference center near Lagos Murtala Mohammed Airport. A closed-door meeting held at FAN's Lagos headquarters between Keyamo, Bi-Courtney officials, and FAN MD Olubunmi Kuku focused on resolving the dispute. The dispute began in 2005 over a concession agreement, with FAN later terminating Bi-Courtney's lease in 2013, citing contract breaches. Bi-Courtney countered with a court order blaming FAN for delays. Keyamo's possible intervention is seen as a step towards unlocking the stalled infrastructure project. Now in power, the federal government's electricity tariff subsidy skyrocketed by 219.67% to 1.94 trillion naira in 2024, up from 610 billion naira in 2023, despite a tariff hike from Band A customers in April. According to the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, this surge was triggered by the naira's devaluation and inflation following the fuel subsidy removal and floating of the currency. Shockingly, the government settled just 371 million naira, only 0.019% of its subsidy obligation, leaving power generation companies facing nearly 5 trillion naira in unpaid debt. NECA data showed Abuja, Ikeja, and Ibadan discos accounted for the highest subsidy allocation, while Yola disco had the most expensive cost-reflective tariff due to insecurity and operational challenges. Experts wonder unless bold reforms are made, the sector may remain financially unstable for decades, with calls mounting for private sector-led investment and a holistic power sector overhaul. Now in energy, the Dangote Petroleum Refinery and Petrochemicals has suspended its discounted fuel supply scheme after uncovering widespread abuse by some affiliated marketers who diverted subsidized products for profit. The scheme, meant to ensure affordable fuel at retail stations, was exploited as marketers allegedly sold products to unregistered third parties, bypassing logistics and operational costs. This led to significant market distortion and losses for the refinery. Effective July 13, 2025, the suspension halts discounted sales, while existing paid orders will still be honored. Dangote said it is restructuring the program but remains committed to supporting genuine partners and stabilizing nationwide fuel supply. Now in health, medical doctors in Ekiti and Ondo State have rejected a recent circular from the federal government revising health workers' allowances, describing it as a breach of existing agreement. The Nigerian Medical Association chapters in both states vowed resistance, warning of a nationwide strike if the policy is not withdrawn within the 21-day ultimatum issued by the national body. The circular issued by the National Salaries, Income and Wages Commission reportedly disrupts agreed salary relativity between doctors and other health workers. Ekiti NMA chairman Dr. Ifedayo Oreyemi slammed the directive as a violation of prior collective bargaining agreement and criticized the government's timing amid a worsening brain drain and poor working conditions in the sector. He urged the government to replicate its foreign healthcare investments domestically and called on senior doctors to join in the protest while members remain on standby for further directives. directives. Now on crime, the Nigerian police force has rescued 31 kidnapped victims in coordinated operations in Edo and Taraba states, following intense gunfights with suspected herdsmen. In Edo, 14 adoptees were freed after a deadly ambush which left 2 dead, prompting a joint rescue by police and local security forces near Obe Hill. In Taraba, 14 passengers traveling from Enugu to Yola were rescued on hot after their bus was attacked. First PRO ACP Moyiwa Adejobi said the swift actions demonstrates the police commitment to public safety, while IGP Kayode Ibetukun praised the officers' bravery and vowed continued clamps down on criminal networks. Now in sports, Paris Saint-Germain are making a late move to hijack Victor Osimhen's proposed return to Galatasaray after Napoli excluded the Nigerian striker from their pre-season training squad under new manager Antonio Conte. Osimhen, who scored 37 goals in 41 games during a loan spell in Galatasaray, is keen on a permanent transfer, but PSG sporting director Luis Campos has reportedly opened direct talks to lure him on. Napoli, still valuing the striker at 75 million euros, are in fresh negotiations with Galatasaray, who are working to meet payment terms through a letter of credit. However, complications persist amid interest from Saudi Arabia and doubts from figures like Bruno Satin, who questioned Osimhen's fit in Luis' system. That is domestic news update for now. On to Accolade News. Do stay with us for more domestic updates and development. I am Blessing Bassi.